Good evening and welcome to the news tonight. I'm Tracy Shilchi and let's head straight to the headlines. Select committees on coal and mines and mineral bills tabled their reports in upper house after scrutiny, clearing the way for presentation. No changes despite dissent notes. Opposition parties step up the heat, demanding CBI probe into IAS officer D.K. Ravikumar's death. Alleged the government attempt to cover up its mafia links exposed by the officer. Islamist gunmen storm a museum adjacent to the Tunisian parliament, shoot dead 21 tourists, several taken hostage. The parliament is evacuated. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu storms to power for a fourth straight term as his right-wing Likud party wins a surprise victory against rival Zionist Union. And at the World Cup, South Africa thrashed Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in a one-sided quarter-final match. Our top story, the Rajya Sabha Select Committee on Coal tabled its report in Parliament on Wednesday, suggesting no modifications in the bill. The Committee on Mines and Minerals, however, endorsed 2 amendments moved by the government. The Congress left and the JDU and DMK gave dissent notes. The Congress, in fact, protesting in the upper house over paucity of time for submission of reports and complained that the panels did not take the concerns of all stakeholders into account before finalizing the report.
The government has moved a step closer to clearing the decks for presenting the bills amending the Mines and Minerals Act and the Coal Mines Act. This after 2 select committees of the Rajya Sabha that were scrutinizing the bills presented their reports. The 19-member panel headed by BJP's Anil Madhav Dave on the Coal Mines Special Provisions Bill 2015 referred the bill back to the House without any changes. The report, however, contained 5 dissenting notes from Digvijay Singh, P. Bhattacharya and Rajiv Shukla of the Congress, and Tiruchi Shiva and K.N. Balagopal of the DMK and the CPIM respectively.
कोल माइंस के अंदर जो सेलेक्ट कमेटी की रिपोर्ट्स आई है, इस रिपोर्ट्स के अंदर कई प्रकार के सुझाव प्राप्त हुए थे सदस्यों के द्वारा, विपक्षी सदस्यों के द्वारा, विशेष करके जो मजदूर पूर्व में उन कोल माइंस में रह रहे थे, उनके हितों के संरक्षण का सवाल था। विषय था उसके अंदर कि इस बात की चिंता की जाए कि कोल माइंस के अंदर जो छोटे उपभोक्ता हैं उनके हितों का संरक्षण हो, क्योंकि बड़ों को तो कोल माइंस मिल ही जाएगी, पावर को मिल जाएगी, स्टील को मिल जाएगी, सीमेंट को मिल जाएगी, लेकिन जो छोटा उपभोक्ता है उसका क्या होगा।
The 19-member Select Committee chaired by BJP's Bhupendra Yadav on the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2015 also recommended no changes in any of the clauses but approved 2 official amendments to protect the rights of forest dwellers and tribals. This report also contained dissent notes from Shantaram Naik of the Congress, T.K. Rangarajan and D. Raja of the left and Pawan Kumar Verma of the JDU. However, the report suggested that the government consider at a later stage issues like impact of mining activities on the environment, rampant illegal mining, lack of proper and scientific mine closure, land acquisition and resettlement, and capturing windfall profits for the welfare of local and tribal communities. Leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, however, registered the Congress party's protest. Azad said the bills were not referred to parliamentary standing committees as demanded in the first place. He also asserted that the government turned down the opposition's demand of presenting the Select Committee reports in the first week of the second part of the budget session of Parliament.
On behalf of my party, we want to register our protest against the manner in which the Mines and Minerals Regulation and Development Amendment Bill 2015 and Coal Mines Special Bill 2015 are being rushed for passing.
Defending the government's stance, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said there was no provision for a discussion on presentation of the Select Committee report and that members could raise their concerns during the debate on the bill.
At the time of the discussion, you can discuss all the objections, but why you are objecting the report?
However, dissatisfied Congress members marched into the well of the House, shouting slogans against the government, forcing a brief adjournment.
House is adjourned for 10 minutes.
Two key bills aimed at reforming the coal and mines sectors were referred to separate panels after the government buckled under pressure from a united opposition. The select committees were asked to submit their reports by March 18th. The government is in a minority in the Rajya Sabha, but it managed to get the Trinamool Congress, the Biju Janata Dal and the AIADMK on board, tilting the power scales within the committees in its favour. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, a day after massive protests across Karnataka demanding a CBI inquiry into the death of IS officer D.K. Ravi Kumar, the political opposition has taken forward the demand, alleging that he was murdered for being a whistleblower who was cracking down on illegal dealings of people within the government. Police had termed the death a suspected suicide, saying a CID probe was enough. Here's more on this case.
Anti-government protests by Karnataka's opposition leaders and lawyers in Bengaluru, an outright rejection of the CID probe ordered into IAS officer D.K. Ravi Kumar's death, rejecting the police's hurried suicide theory, insisting it was murder to stop a whistleblower in his tracks. They staged a dharna at the assembly through the night.
We are going to give call to the citizens and overall the responsible person to fight against the misdeeds of this government. We request them come to the street and to demand this government hand it over this issue to the CBI. Everybody has to protest against this government.
Karnataka opposition MPs met the Home Minister in Delhi, asking for action from the centre.
We are requesting the Home Minister to take a very serious steps as far as this issue is concerned. It is fair on the part of the state government to refer the matter to the central CBI so that CBI can have a free and fair investigation in the matter.
36-year-old IS officer Ravi Kumar's family has joined in to reject the suicide theory. Kumar, who earned a reputation as an upright officer, had recently taken over as Joint Commissioner of Commercial Taxes. He'd also taken on the Sand Mafia as Deputy Commissioner of Kolar District. Many of the real estate companies he'd pursued are owned or linked to state ministers. Even former Lokayukta Santosh Hegde has spoken up in favour of a CBI probe.
I think this is a case which requires high-level investigation. Since local investigating agencies can be influenced by the forces that are, I think the investigation should be conducted by CBI.
The Karnataka government rejects charges, insisting the Criminal Investigation Department or CID of the state police is perfectly capable of handling the investigation in the case.
CBI ಕೂಡ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ರಿ ಇದು. ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ, CID ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ನಿಷ್ಪಕ್ಷಪಾತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ತ್ವರಿತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಸತ್ಯ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ.
The case marks the latest tussle over the death of a man the opposition calls a whistleblower and their tug of war with the party in power. It almost harks back to the Durga Shakti Nagpal issue in Noida. Will a proper probe come to the bottom of this death? Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
On to the top international story and news of a terror strike in Tunisia. Armed gunmen stormed into an art museum adjacent to the Tunisian parliament a short while back. The Prime Minister said that 21 people have been shot dead. 2 of the attackers have been eliminated as well. Reports that 3 others may be on the loose is what we are learning. A policeman is among those killed. Several others were taken hostage and they've been now freed. It's not clear what the demands of the terrorists are. Tunis police officials said that 2 men dressed in military uniform stormed into the Bardo National Museum and opened fire. The Tunisian Foreign Ministry called it an Islamist attack. Bardo Museum is situated next to the Parliament building in central Tunis. The Parliament has been evacuated as of now. Tourists from several European countries have been taken hostage. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to return to office for a 4th term after a surprise but clear victory in the country's parliamentary elections. His right-wing Likud party defeated main rival Zionist Union after a bitter campaign. Here's a report.
כנגד כל הסיכויים השגנו ניצחון גדול לליכוד.
Against huge odds, a fourth term for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, making him the country's longest-serving Prime Minister. Netanyahu's road to victory was a bumpy one, with the final result turning out a far cry from opinion polls and predictions. Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party won 29 seats in the 120-member parliament, comfortably defeating the Zionist Union opposition that won 24 seats.
שוחחתי הערב עם כל ראשי המפלגות של המחנה הלאומי. קראתי להם להצטרף אליי.
Opposition leader Isaac Herzog congratulated Netanyahu on the victory, promising to continue to hold up persisting issues.
לפני כמה דקות שוחחתי עם ראש הממשלה בנימין נתניהו, בירכתי אותו על הישגו, איחלתי לו הצלחה, אבל שיהיה ברור לאזרחי ישראל, האתגרים הם אותם אתגרים, הבעיות הן אותן בעיות, שום דבר לא השתנה.
The public voiced mixed reactions. Political repercussions were also felt in Palestine as Netanyahu had declined a Palestinian state under his leadership. Palestinian officials, however, said they would step up their bid for statehood.
The world was against him and the country was against him, much of the country, but he did it, and I think it's great.
אני מאוכזבת מהתוצאות של הבחירות, קיוויתי שזה יהיה אחרת, וכרגע זה נראה שאנחנו הולכים להמשיך לעוד כמה שנים של הידרדרות, ליותר גזענות.
Reaching the 61 mark in parliament that's required to form a government won't be easy sailing though, with Netanyahu's Likud party being the biggest group. Netanyahu claimed that he has already spoken to parties for a possible coalition and received a positive response. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And finally, some cricket news coming in from the World Cup. South Africa registered their first ever victory in the knockout stage today, crushing former champions Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in the first quarter-final. With this, South Africa are in the semi-final, where they will be meeting the winner of the match between New Zealand and West Indies. That's all we could pack in right now on News Tonight, but keep watching the news on Rajya Sabha TV.